Wait a minute, let me check. I'm good. Okay. Uh, that's one way of looking at it. I was going, I was going to call it racism porn, but black exploitation works too. True, but like you said, Get Out was a good movie. It was entertaining. Um, the jump scares were kind of stupid. Yes. Yeah. Some of these scenes could have been better. I really think the whole hypnotism thing was fucking stupid. Um, yeah, it really came off as supernatural, than it than sciency. The her hypnotizing him just by sound was just ridiculous. Um, pretty much. And then just this I get it that sound can trigger shit. Like, don't get me wrong, anything can trigger memories or flashbacks or whatnot. But without it being set, it kind of loses its, like, what the fuck, you know that what me, but he can't hear it. You know that what? Hold on, let me turn my sound on. Me, but he can't hear it. Me, but he can't hear it. You know that what? You know that what? Is your mic on?
Can you hear me now?
Is your mic on?
Yeah, my mic's on.
Hear me now.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, that was annoying. Yeah, because apparently it went to default device, which I have like 3 different microphones from having my wireless headset for when I want to walk around my house or my apartment and listen to shit. So sorry about that, folks, of hearing nothing and then hearing just Tyr in there, or Tyrannius. We watched Get Out. It's a 2017 movie, and yeah, apparently, we're a good fucking 6 minutes in. I boomer momented this worse than fucking P-Dog. I feel like a jackass. And he's got me by 20 years, I think. I'm 36. He's in like his at least 50s.
I believe he's 50. I think he has you by at least a good 30 years. I believe he's 56, maybe 58.
God damn. Then he's getting by like 20 years. Motherfucker, that pisses me off. But
shit, we can go back and do it again.
God damn. Starting over. Yeah, to go over it, to give the brief overview again that I gave and you couldn't really hear. That one, Get Out, was made in 2017. Apparently there was actually a lot of shit in the trailer that was not actually put into the or a few things put in the trailer that were not actually in the movie, like the skeletal deer. I think that was supposed to have something to do with the deer they hit on the way over there. But it was directed and written by Jordan Peele. Apparently it took him like 4+ years to write the series. While it could be considered to some more of a racist horror mystery thriller, well, that's what IMDb says. I call it basically a better shot modern day blaxploitation film. I mean, cinematography is good and everything.
Yeah.
Acting was spot on. There was just some dumb shit in there. The hypnotism didn't really work, because, in my opinion, because it kept pushing it more towards the supernatural when everything else wasn't supposed to be supernatural. And it just seemed like they had too much of wanting to hit the white people as, I don't know,
evil and racist.
Yeah.
I like the musical score. I like some of the musical elements, like the run little rabbit, run, run.
Yeah.
I like, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, I can't remember what language that actually is, because part of it had that, but it's actually supposed to basically saying like run to get away.
Yeah.
But they couldn't get away until the end.
Yeah. So I like that element. I really like that little piece of music, and I love the fact that it played again as he's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So he is running. I have to give that directorial note of a fucking A+.
I will say my absolute favorite scene in all of it is when he takes out the fucking dad with the goddamn deer head.
Yeah.
That was great.
I like the way he took out the brother.
The first part of it or the second part?
The first part, at least.
Oh, yeah, when he
comes out of nowhere.
Takes him out with the fucking... goddamn, I can't remember the hell.
The bocce ball? Yeah. Not the bocce ball, the cricket ball.
Cricket ball.
He bashed that fuck in his head, and he deserved every bit of it. But I love the fucking mother. Like, he just no-sells the stab in the hand and stabbed that bitch in her eye.
Oh, yeah, it turned it around on her.
Yup.
Oh, and we got a fucking bot. I actually have a bot. Holy shit. We are gonna report.
It's first time for everything.
Where are you? Pornography report. Okay. And then we're gonna remove. And where is the put user in timeout? So because of that, how do I do this? We're gonna go on here, and James, you are now a moderator, and Tyr is a moderator.
Oh, God, stop making me do work.
You don't have to do work. Follow the same rules a lot of us have on other channels. Don't make me work. And Angela, how is this kind of messing with your head out of curiosity? Was it because he couldn't hear me for a while and it was just Tier talking like to no one because my OBS was being retarded? God, did that piss me off.
Don't worry. He doesn't exist. I'm talking to myself.
Spatial therapy to hypnotize the main character? Yeah, that was a little odd.
Yeah, the whole element of the sunken place is kind of. I've never been hypnotized, so I can't test on the validity of it. There's an echo. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't test on the validity of the effect of being hypnotized, but that really did come off as a little supernatural as well. That whole you just like fall into this pool, if you will.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the hypnotist. They did one in my senior party for when I graduated high school back in 2005, and while it was comical, it was total bullshit in my opinion, just because of the dumb shit they were doing. Because the person's like, "Oh, I don't know this," blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, y'all are trying way too hard.
Again, that just
okay.
That element is wild.
Yeah, but all in all, I'll still say it was a pretty good movie. They're not as bad as I was thinking. Like I was expecting just it to be. Ooh, I didn't mean to peek like that, but I was expecting to be just like pure, straight up racist, white people evil, and that whole thing. It leaned towards that, but it was more of like rich people evil. Especially fucked up rich people. Because I mean,
I have to say, some of the elements for TSA, it makes us seem so more awesome than we really are. We're not that awesome. We don't have cars. We're not great detectives. We're just a bunch of schlubs.
Well, I mean, a lot of movies or in TV shows do that. They'll take someone who has like whatever of a job and then play it up like they're this super important, super special agent type person when they're actually not.
Yeah.
Now, are there probably some people in TSA that would have access to shit like that? Yeah, I could see some, but
yeah, but they're not in the blue uniforms.
Yeah.
These are all the plebes.
Yeah.
Again, it was a good. I wasn't expecting. I heard stories about it, and it really didn't interest me. But after I saw it, it's a pretty good movie. Again, the cringe parts were cringy, like the dad and his whole.
I'd have voted for Obama a third term if I could have. It's just like, oh Jesus Christ! Like that was laying on so hard of like the white savior and.
I love you too, James. What the hell?
Some of the other shit of just God.
I really wish they would have. I really didn't get the whole when they played bingo and the betting. I didn't get how
it was auctioning.
Yeah, I get how it was auctioning, but I didn't.
They were using the bingo cards and that whole thing. His fingers were to be the price amount. They didn't want to do it aloud because they knew he was still outside, so they had to do a silent auction. And he did everything via hands and whatnot because the blind dude's assistant was basically like whispering to him what it was. So it looked like he won it for at least, I would probably say it has to be a minimum of like $10,000+ to get in there.
So you knew he was coming. Mm-hmm. Why not have the auction have it pre-done instead of getting it while he's there?
I think in that whole thing it was it's actually how they do a lot of auctions, like gun auctions, estate sales, things like that. They have it to where people can come in so they can see what they want to try to buy, because in that whole thing you're only getting to see a picture of what he looks like. They want to actually get to see like, well, okay, maybe they took this picture but the dude's got a twisted spine, you know, and then they got him set up straight in this regular picture. So they went over, right. You know, so they got to have a chance to basically interact with the goods.
Okay.
That sounds fucking terrible.
It really does. But Okay, and that's another thing. So, you could have this auction in the house, like the whole sour auction thing. Really, you could have had it in the house while she has him out there. Have somebody watching and say, "Okay, he's coming."
Hell, they could have done it via cell phone.
Hell yeah, they could have been via cell phone. And then the whole flash thing, triggering it.
Yeah.
That kind of makes no sense either.
Well, it's one of those things that they needed something to basically. I don't know if you can hear my glass.
I can.
They needed something to pretty much kind of let there be a swap to where the personality that was supposed to be taken over, or that had taken over, would get pushed away.
Okay, so
God, I look like I'm
random
speaking like a
flashes
motherfucker.
happen. You could see a random flash, like if she would, how guns fire at night, right? And you see the muzzle flash, correct?
Yeah.
What about that? Or what if something blinking?
I don't necessarily think it was the flash of the phone itself, because it seemed more like it was the clicking of the camera, the camera part of the phone. It had to be the flash,
because remember, when he took the pictures, when he was taking pictures there, it didn't do anything, but it had
it could have been something with a phone, but like he didn't take any pictures of that dude or around that dude when he had his camera.
That's true.
He just happened to see him and talk to him. I also have to say I wasn't necessarily a big a fan of, they thought black, like they basically implied the whole black people are supposed to be a specific way, and them not talking in hood, jive, street, however you want to say it, not talking quote unquote black, all of a sudden makes you not black.
Yeah. That's one of the things. So it seems that they've been doing this for a hot minute with all the pictures she has. Mm-hmm. So any police worth their salt would instantly realize, hey, this bitch has been stealing people. A lot of people miss it. Well, who's the last person they've been with?
The only way they could avoid that is if the person who overtook them went to the police, is like, no, I'm fine. I moved out of that community. I don't want to be a part of it anymore, and I'm now living with my lovely wife, who's 30 years older than me, because I'm into old bitches. I mean, granted, that does happen occasionally with people, but still.
Yeah, but that's a lot of setup. And from the way it seems, the way the picture played it out to make it seem, she's been doing this for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Now, okay, there were tons of photos, and then they had the one chick, the grandma. She had her too. Again, where are the other people? So he just literally saved. Well, he didn't save grandma. Grandma died.
Well, sort
of. Grandpa killed her.
Yeah. Well, the guy did in that whole thing. From everything more of what it seems, it was they got. And I'm doing the finger quotations because this, again, it's one of those things that sounds really fucked up. They got freed. Like there is so many connotations. So when you look in the movie that you try to discuss it or you try to say anything about it, and just Jesus fucking Christ, no matter what you say, it just sounds fucking terrible.
It does sound terrible.
It was the reason why I avoided the movie for so long, because it just seemed like no matter what you would try to say about it, it's either you sounded racist or you were being racist.
Don't worry, I gave you a nigger pass.
Well, it doesn't matter on that whole thing because it's just one of those things.
Well, that's my issue with a lot of Jordan Peele's work. He plays the race card a lot.
Yeah.
Like he played the race card far too much for my liking.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, that's why I'm still looking forward to seeing his other two movies, because Nope looks cool, and I liked how they they did the fake out for the trailer because they put the
flying purple people eater.
Yeah, they put the flying saucer in there to make people think it was aliens when it's not actually aliens. By the way, spoiler. But I think the movie I'm looking forward to the most is Us.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to see Us.
That's the movie. The next two reviews I plan on doing, and I plan on bringing it, like, anyone who wants to watch them on one of the Discord servers, is to watch Us, which will probably be in a few weeks, and then to watch Nope, and then go through those, and then start taking recommendations for whatever. But I'm gonna, like, every Saturday or Sunday, I'm gonna do like one or two Christmas movies. And I think next Saturday is going to be 8 Crazy Nights and maybe something else. I don't know what.
Die Hard. Do Die Hard.
I can't do Die Hard and 8 Crazy Nights. If I'm going to do Die Hard, I'm going to have to follow what 8 Camel recommended and do the Die Hard 1, then Die Hard 2.
Like, all right, do Die Hard 1, do Die Hard 2, and do Christmas Eve, do 8 Crazy Nights.
I was going to say, because you can't do 8 Crazy Nights with something like that. You'd have to do 8 Crazy Nights with something like The Santa Claus or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Predominantly, other than the Die Hard and the first Lethal Weapon, because the first Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. It's just down in, like, fucking Florida or some shit. Or is it California?
It's California.
Yeah, California. They're a little too violent. If I'd have thought of this earlier, we could have done, like, the themed horror movies to review for Christmas. But we'll look into that next year if I'm still doing shit.
Yeah, you'll still be doing shit next year.
Oh yeah, because I'm a lazy motherfucker. I still need to plausibly restring my guitar, but let's see if I can tune it with the current strings it has on it. See if they break. But I think we've basically said what we wanted to about the movie review, or the movie. I will say, if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's not a terrible movie. There's, like Thierry said, there's definitely some cringe moments, and it's just
jump scares kind of suck.
Yeah, the jump scare, most of the jump scares are pretty terrible. But I do think one of the things that I know about the making of the movie that I think they personally should have kept with is Rose, the chick who's his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. They had a thing for, I guess, in part of the movie where it's like it was supposed to be the reason why she was doing it. It was because she was actually hypnotized as well, so her mother did that to her to coerce her into doing this shit.
Oh, that would have been so. That would have been so much better.
And I think they should have went with that, because then it made her a victim as well. Because it could have been that whole thing of being like, no, my grandpa's a racist, my grandma's a racist, my mom and dad are fucked up, my brother's a piece of shit thug, or wannabe thug who just wants to beat up on people. Like, I want to get away from this. And she tried, and they could have had, like, she tried getting away from it, but then got brought back, got hypnotized, and then brought into it, or, was going to try to escape, but instead got hypnotized. Because, like, with the way she, with a few of the ways she acts, of how she goes from, like, the loving to then the just blank emotionless state, it seems like she was supposed to have been hypnotized as well, so it would have made more sense.
Yeah, I think that final scene where she's eating the cereal and drinking the milk, like, that would just, what the fuck, like, that's a little,
because otherwise it's just, it brings up, it's just like, it's an entire family of sociopaths.
It really is.
The brother's just the only one who enjoys it.
No, I think the mother enjoyed it too.
Well, she enjoys the head games.
Yeah.
Because they're, like, not to sound mean to women, but women, from what I've seen, predominantly women tend to enjoy head games more than men. Not to say there aren't women who don't like head games, but it seems like they predominantly tend to like head games more than men do.
Yeah, she came up again. I love the fact that he no-sells that stab in the hand.
Yeah,
He's like, yo, all the shit I've been through today, bitch, I'm going to kill you.
The fact that he took the freaking thing through his hand, and I don't remember if it was I think it was like a lead opener or something, but just all you just hear me is just like, went through, and then he just starts to turn it and turn it and turn it and go, and it's
right through her.
Actually, I think I'm gonna have to change it. I think she was my favorite kill.
I don't know. I think I like if we're asking for favorite kills, I really like Rose's kill when he flashes and then how she didn't realize that he flashed her because again she's walking up. She should have seen the flash and should have instantly turned on him. Like, do you not realize what just fucking happened? So it had to be the flash because there was no way he could have heard the clicking over the sound of them fighting.
Most
had
likely.
To be the flash. So it had to be the flash. And that brings up another point. My point of like random lights flicker on and off all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So are they constantly monitoring these people to say, "Holy shit"? You know, a light bulb blew and it flashed brightly, or something on the TV screen or something.
It seems like it has to be a mixture of like a specific trigger for each individual, and it seems more like it was for the black men is that it was the camera phone or the camera being used on a cell phone with the sound and the flash.
I mean,
wait a second. Wait. They didn't have the flash go on the first dude when he took a picture of him. It was just the sound. I swore it was just the sound.
It was flash. He flashed him.
I'm too lazy to go back and look at it.
Again, if Jordan Peele would have had a throwaway line or scene that explains the mechanics of them coming in and out,
yeah,
it would have been a little clearer about what triggers. Like, is it just the sound? Because again, he was able to block out the sound, the clicking.
Yeah.
With cotton. And again, the sound of them grunting and fighting, he would never have heard the clicking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one. There is, but I mean, again, it's a horror. It's supposed to be a psychological horror movie, so not everything's supposed to make sense, and it's supposed to make you question it. And because of the way it was, there are far too many people going, it's so artistic and whatnot, and it's a first time directing for this black man, and
he only got those accolades because he's a black man. Again, good movie.
I think he got more of it just because of his work on Key and Peele. I think he just happened to luck out in that whole thing. I think he lucked out for a lot of his salary and whatnot. The only other thing I can think of is since he wrote it and he directed it and it seemed like it had a really good budget, I think he took a loss on how much he made. If he was like, hey, if you guys produce it, give me this budget, anything that I would have made, we'll put into this, and I get like X amount per whatever for royalties. And it's going to be like less than what it normally is. But I could be entirely wrong.
Again, Jordan Peele, some of his stuff is hit or miss for me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like his Outer Limits.
Limits.
It's the old TV show. He got a stint in it for a brief bit, and it was hit or miss.
Because like Key and Peele was pretty good, but I honestly like more of the more outrageous ones when Key was on it. Key
is the funnier one. Again, Jordan Peele he's
a pretty good director on that one. So I'll give him credit. He's a pretty good director. I mean, obviously he's better than me. I have no movies. I'm just some 36-year-old jackhole sitting in his apartment talking to another 36-year-old jackhole sitting in his apartment.
Oh no, sitting in my house talking shit.
Whatever. And that whole thing. And it's just that whole thing, dude. It took you 4+ years to write it, like, and that was your reasoning behind, like, for some of these things was just such a shitty throwaway line.
Yeah.
You know the whole thing of some people want to be cool. Some people want to. It was basically like people want to be young. Some people want to be cooler. Some people want to be stronger. And that one dude, it was obvious since he was blind. He's like, I want to see again.
I want your eyes.
Yeah.
Man, again, if this would have went in a different direction, like if the premise of Get Out was just, they're just dicks, mm-hmm. instead of the whole transporting, cutting off brain stems and making people young again.
Well, that's why, like, I can't remember what the movie's called, and I need to find it because I was watching a thing. I don't remember if it was What Culture or What Culture Horror, because, like, the whole body possession / like mind swap thing isn't new.
Body snatching.
Yeah. But there's one to where an assassin basically he goes through a process to possess someone else's body for a specific amount of time so he can assassinate a target. And if the person whose body he's in, gets caught or whatever, but he can get out of it and he still completes his mission, well then whatever, that person has to take the fall for it, and there's nothing that they can go to say prove otherwise.
Okay.
But the way they do it is they fucking go and have it that during the movie, like the current mission that he's on at one point in the movie, he can't get to the whole thing, so it has it that he's because of being in there for so like past the time of what he was supposed to, he starts to lose control, and it starts to be that fight. I think it's that fight for control amongst the actual personality and the other personality, or his.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not doing it justice at the moment.
I mean, I get it. The concept of body snatching isn't lost on me. It's just that the execution is bad for this movie, at least for me. If this was a generic, we're just dicks and we're slashers and you're our latest victim.
Mm-hmm.
It would have, the whole Get Out thing, it wouldn't need to be the rule of cool.
Mm-hmm.
We just try and be cool, or if everybody's motivation was just, we want to be young again.
Yeah.
That's all we want your youth. We're we've lived our lives, we made this money, but we can't buy time.
Yeah, we can't undo to get the youth we have, because they say youth is wasted on the young. Because that's where it kind of goes when you look at the first thing, when he's getting the whole thing is getting introduced by the grandfather of what they are, of basically him being like, well, we're intellectually superior, but you're physically superior. So if you let us take over your body, you'll live a good life at our leisure because we're smarter than you. That's basically what it was. And then when you have the blind guy going through it, it's, their reasons for doing it. It's just, it kind of gives a mixed message of what it's supposed to be. It seemed more like when the grandfather's introducing it, it's like, oh, we're doing this because black people are inferior until it's like intellectually, and we're not. Mm-hmm. It's like, and white people and everyone else is not, or the elite are not. He's like, so if you let us use your body, we can do these great things instead. He's like, you'll still be there, you're just going to be a passenger.
What they would have been a little better? Have that the entire family has done this before. That they're just they're body snatchers. A family of body snatchers.
Oh, so kind of like, oh fuck, no, I can't remember the movie where it's the hoodoo one, to where it actually started with 2 black slaves, but the way the story or the way the movie goes is like they have to make the person believe in hoodoo for it to work, which is really fucking weird.
You're talking about it's a Final Tales from the Crypt.
No, actually, it's a different movie, and I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, my.
Because it's more recent. Because what they do is they'll get to a certain age, and then they'll make someone go through so they can swap bodies with them, and then they get like either cut out their tongue or give them some certain thing, poison, so they're going to basically slowly die. So the person who was in like their early to mid 20s ends up having to live what was supposed to be their youth now in this old, feeble body, soon to die. And like when you go through and look at it, this is like their 6th or 7th time of swapping bodies. and that whole thing. I'll have to find the movie because it's been on What Culture Horror quite often. Because I don't watch as many horror movies, I have a fascination of the story arcs of them and everything. Because I'm gonna put it blatantly, I think a lot of horror movies are crap, and
a lot of modern horror movies are crap.
And I think a lot of the psychological horror movies tend to be up their own ass.
Again, if this was a family of body snatchers, the reason why she's doing it now because she's trying to find her perfect body. Maybe even better, make it that the brother is actually her husband or something.
Yeah,
and it's that's why he comes off as a dick because he's jealous that
Actually, that could have made a good story on that one. You have it that basically, he's got a genetic issue and whatnot. That's why he's being a dick, is because he's looking to take over that body so he can then be with his wife. That'd have been a good story.
Yes, and then that like we you could get rid of the whole fucking auction thing where they're doing this to make him pliable.
Yeah,
again, the concept is there.
Oh yeah, because body snatching mind snatching in a way is a very good concept, and it's been done a whole bunch of times. I mean, I still think Futurama was one of the ones that did it the best, and that was just a straight up mind swap, though.
Yes, and then even better, what would have been kick ass, that all the pictures are just them in different bodies.
Yeah.
So you have this massive wall. Oh, this is the family, but it's not. It's just them.
Yeah.
And even better, all the artifacts that they gathered, it's all their stuff. Like, so it kind of plays that. Yeah, we've been doing this for ages. Like this has been going on for ancient time. Like we're fucking throwing out a time period. Like this is medieval shit. We've been doing this since.
Yeah, basically, like I said, it'd be more like that hoodoo movie to where pretty much as they would go through the progress, it's like you would see different things that they would have had from their time in that body to basically symbolize this is how many generations they got to survive because of doing that.
Yeah, and you could even have that, with each body swap, say the husband, since they're husband and wife, the kids,
Yeah. So kind of do like a Highlander thing. Basically, once they're supposed to die, they would swap bodies with someone else, make up a thing of the person who body they originally had that they are now deceased, and they now take over the identity and personality of the new victim.
Yeah. Again, this could have been. I mean, I like the idea that she's a like that. I really think they should have kept that if that exists. Mm-hmm. That she is a victim of it too, where she's being hypnotized. That the mother and the father are complete and utter monsters.
And the brother was as well, like that.
Or even have that the brother's also hypnotized, and he has limited fight control over it, and that the helmet is what triggers him.
Yeah, that could be a good one.
And his rebellion is that they put me in that helmet. I'm no longer me.
And that's the reason why he's so violent of it, is because he's basically trying to stop it through violence to make it to where the person that they're going to go after isn't suitable.
Or that he's trying to get him like, dude, leave before this shit goes down. He just can't outright say it because I guess one of the triggers is blocking it, but he's trying to fight it in his own way. And that would have given like the death scene sweet release.
Yeah.
That they're even using their own children. They're like, these people are real fucking monsters. So I still try to figure out how did they hide the he had a hat on, now that I think about it.
Yeah, he wore a hat all the time. She wore a wig.
Yeah.
That was basically it. They the men always wore a hat for some odd reason. The chick, she wore a wig and it was just again, it's that whole thing. It's not bad. I'd recommend it at least for one viewing, and I'd recommend not being completely sloshed off your ass if you drink. Just so that way you can sit there and not have the whole like, oh, is this movie over type thing, but you can actually be like, okay, you can actually have a little thought process in it. But I am seriously looking forward to doing Us, and I think I'm going to try that one in a few weeks. I will do another thing on Johnny's channel or on his Discord, Johnny Hellcat's Discord server. If anything, I might I think I'm just going to build my own server and change it over to do it for these type of reviews or whatnot, just because.
Makes sense.
Well, that way I'm not bogging down anyone else's server, and I can kind of control a little more of who may or may not join.
Okay.
But Us looks cool for the home invasion thing. But yeah, otherwise I wouldn't give it this like 7.7 out of 10 like IMDb did. I'd probably put it at about a 5 personally.
I'm going to give it a 5.5 stars. Like, again, jump scares were kind of weak. I really love the music. The premise was okay. Some things could have been explained better to make it not be supernatural. And if you were going to go supernatural, just go fucking full supernatural.
Yeah. Like, go straight into voodoo, hoodoo, freaking. I don't care if you're going to goddamn Satanism, but like if you're going to kind of start breaching down that supernatural level, just hit it full bore. Don't hide from it. Just
go at it. Just go ahead and do the supernatural element and just go ahead, because you teased it. You kind of alluded to it and then you didn't explain it.
Yeah.
So,
but
like it works better if we're sync. You know, we understand the process.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like some things, they're better left unexplained. This was one where I would say it wasn't better left unexplained.
Yeah.
But with that being said, it's about almost 10 to 2 in the morning. I think I'm going to wrap it up because then I can probably catch Monkey on the replay. I ain't even going to try to catch up on Noir Bar. I'll watch that tomorrow. This was fun doing a movie review in that whole thing. Once I get through Us and Nope, I will definitely take recommendations, or if someone else wants to bring up a movie, they can. Sorry about the technical issues and being a fucking millennial boomer and up in their whole thing.
A moomer?
A millennial?
A millennial.
But for all those who watched and may watch in the future, thank you again. Sorry about the technical issues. I will throw something in the description about that, apologizing. But Tier, appreciate you joining me on that one. Sorry about some of the technical difficulties. My dumbass is still trying to learn some of this shit, so I'm trying to do more. But I think the movie reviews were pretty fun. I think I might try to do some more reviews on some things. I got to get my table set up so I can do some things on camera, potentially. You won't be seeing me, you'll be seeing my hands.
Ew.
Only one of them's kind of fucked up from breaking my middle finger twice, my ring and pinky finger, and then the bones in my hand that attach to my ring and pinky finger.
Ew.
I might just wear gloves for it. We'll see. But thanks, everyone. We'll do it again sometime. Hope you have a good day and a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever the fuck it is you celebrate. I don't give a shit. Happy Festus. You have grievances and people will hear them. Got anything to leave out on or want to shield here?
Nah, not yet. Maybe I'll continue my fucking Monster Hunter playthrough at some point. Or my Monster Rancher playthrough, I don't know.
All right.
Other than that, I'm good.
All right. Thanks, everyone.